Okay, so this is the final video in this tutorial. So far, we have created a phone book app called Greenbook, and we have gotten through the point where we are able to view all of the people in the phone book and then the details of the person and their phone numbers, addresses, email addresses. And then we made an edit page and the ability to delete those people. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to do just the phone numbers, so the sub-objects. We're just going to implement a edit page. We don't need a details page for the phone number because the phone number is just, the details are not complicated. So we're going to have just an edit page for the phone number and then a delete action that we're going to create. So let's go to the details page for a person and go up to where there are phone numbers. And you'll see that it is phone number edit and phone number delete. Well, what are those? Phone number is a controller and edit and delete are the two methods on the controller, right? So we need to create a controller called phone number. So now we have the phone number controller. Just like in the last one, here we're just going to create this as return view or redirect. So this is just a catch. So if anybody goes directly to just phone number with nothing, it'll go to the index page of the site. The methods we're going to want to have on here are edit, delete, and save, right? And then the next question we have is, what views do we need here? Well, do we need a view for save? No. Do we need a view for delete? No. So what are we going to do? We are going to have just a view for edit. So it created a phone number folder in our views. We can just create our edit page. Add view, edit. So now we got a phone number edit page. So back to the controller here on edit. So first of all, on delete, we need an ID and that's it, right? And then we can return back to the, so we say int ID. And we want to return back to person details because we deleted a phone number. We don't want to go all the way back out to the root of the site. We actually want to go to the details for this phone number. So this is, I'm just going to go ahead and implement this one. It's going to be similar to the person controller where we're just checking to make sure everything loads in. And if it loads in, we're going to do this. So let's just copy this, except this time it's a phone number. Nope. Oh, answer. Phone number. No, I don't want you to change it. I want you to stop that. I'll just put in the using statement, so it'll fix it. I fixed it. And this needs to be a base controller, right? Because DB context was underlined. So what am I doing here? I am, for delete, getting a phone number. So I'm starting out with a phone number. Actually, I can do this. Put this inside of here. Now I'll put it out here because I'm going to be doing my redirect to that. Phone number equals new phone number. Phone number equals this context, blah, blah, blah. Phone number equals phone number ID equals ID. If phone number is null, then the phone number is not found. I don't have an else because I don't really care, but I can throw an exception here. That's fine. And then here, just like on the person page, this dot db context dot phone numbers dot remove phone number is dot db context dot save changes. So here I'm saying I'm taking in an ID to the delete, and plus slash number dot number ID. I'm sorry, person ID. So I'm finding the phone number from the database. If I can't find it in the database, that's an exception. And if the ID sent in is not, if there's no ID sent in, then I throw an exception. I remove it from the DB contacts, save those changes, and then redirect to the person details for the person the phone number was associated with. It's very simple, right? Save is going to be very similar, but we'll get to that in a minute. Edit is going to be, again, also very similar to this, right? So here we'll do, although for phone number, it's going to be a little bit different than it was for, because we can take in ID and int person ID. ID can be equal to 0. And if it is, then person ID has to be set. If not, if person ID is equal to 0, then ID has to be set. So if ID is greater than 0, I'm just loading the phone number from the database. I don't care about person ID. I don't care if it was ever set, right? Else, if person ID less than or equal to 0, I'm going to say person not found. They're not going to know what that means, but that's the idea, right? So person ID is greater, less than or equal to 0. Otherwise, I'm creating a new phone number. Dot person ID equals. So if not, then it's a new phone number, and I'm saying person.person ID equals person ID and phone number dot person equals very similar to this, but not quite. Dot persons. Person default. Person ID equals person ID. So I'm saying I'm giving it all the information I can. And then finally, I'm just saying phone number dot number. Sorry, this is for edit. We're fine. Right. And then edit, I'm just returning the edit view. So return view with person. I'm sorry, phone number. Right. So now I'm ready to draw the edit page. Right. So what have I done here? I've done one of two things. I'm either creating a new phone number or I am editing an existing phone number. If I'm editing an existing phone number, I am loading that from the database, period. Right? And actually, I should do this up here too. No particular reason. I only need the person ID actually, so I don't really need this, and I don't really need it down here either, but it doesn't hurt. So here, if it's an ID greater than 0, I am loading it from the database. If the ID is equal to 0, then I better have a person ID because I'm creating a new phone number, right? With the person ID equal to that person ID. And then I'm returning the view with the phone number, right? And then save, we'll do save real quick since we're here in the controller. What are we saving? We're saving with int phone number ID. Int person ID and string number. And then in this case, sort of very similar to this. We're going to say, if I'm doing it, found it from the database, then I'm doing it this way. phone number, person, phone number. Yeah, it's very similar. So if not, it's a new one, right? So this again is in the save. I'm saying save. Turn this like this. So I got to save it to the database here. So phone number equals this context phone numbers, person. I don't need to load it in this time. Okay, but I do need to say phone number dot number equals number. And then I say this. Oh, I'm sorry. And in this case, up top here, say this DB context dot phone numbers dot add phone number. And that's that simple. So this dot DB context dot save changes. And then that's it. So we've done all the code we need to do on the controller. It's that simple, right? We need to make the page here, and we'll do that in just a second. But you get the idea here is that I will be taking in from a form a phone number ID, which will be a hidden field, a person ID, which will be a hidden field, and a phone number that I will be saving, right? Let's copy the edit page from the create and edit persons page. We know that the model here is I remember this timeline. Phone number. Number. And we have a hidden person ID and a hidden phone number ID. Guess what? It's that simple. So here we have an edit create phone number page. So to test this, I'm going to create a new user. I'm sorry, a new person. I'm going to click on that person, new phone number. I'm going to save the phone number to that person. And then I'm going to delete that phone number. There you go. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make sure all this stuff makes it to the database. Beat it. I did not beat it. Oh well. So here I'm going to say create new person, do Django, commit, details on Django, and we're going to say add new phone number. There's the number. So we'll say submit. Okay, what happens here? Person, first name is null. So this didn't make it in. Oh, because I'm trying, oh, I didn't change my, this is my fault. On the edit page, I didn't change that this was phone number saved. Okay. And again, you can put in stuff here to catch stuff and just route them out to the front page if stuff isn't set correctly. So here we'll go details, add new phone number. And it worked. Ta-da, right? Let's add another one. Wow, it's working great. Let's go ahead and delete one of them. Actually, let's make sure that they're making it to the database, right? So phone numbers, view data. Everything's making it to the database for now, person ID 4, right? Delete one of them. Did it actually remove it from the database? And it did. So that's it. That is the project. So what we have done is we've created a nice little website for a phone book application. And it looks like we were successful. I would assign to the listener the pages for adding a new email address, editing an email address, same page, right? And then deleting an email address, then the same thing for address. You finish those, you'll get a little bit of experience in creating some of these pages. But thanks for listening. Please make sure to follow my channel. Sounds kind of weird to say that. And share with your friends. Talk to you soon.